Welcome to Married to Portuguese. On each episode, my English-Irish husband, Bob, and I discuss and laugh about our life and adventures in the Portuguese culture. Bom dia.
Howdy.
Oh, boy.
Bom dia.
Bom dia. Yes. Howdy, because we just came back from...
Texas.
Texas. Oh, my goodness.
What a great time.
What a great time. It was a whirlwind. We're wearing our colors today.
Yes.
You know, passport to Portugal by Central Market. Let me tell you, I loved everything.
Yes. Now, we are not paid for this podcast.
We are not paid. We're not paid.
We're just excited about our trip.
We are. And you know what? For those that are hearing us and not seeing us, we're wearing T-shirts that say Central Market Passport Portugal. And it was a culinary voyage through all the different foods that are, you know, specialty to Portugal, and wines and seasonings and all kind of cheeses. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with HEB and Central Market, they're one of the largest grocery stores in the United States, and I believe they're only in Texas.
Texas and New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And someone had said they had HEB in other parts, but when I read their info, and correct us if we're wrong, if they're in other states.
Basically Texas.
Yeah.
Basically Texas. And HEB is the daily market, and Central Market would be the more specialty.
Yes. And there are 10 markets of Central Markets.
So starting, I think they said like 2010, they started doing these annual events, Passport 2, and they would specialize in foods from different countries. And they haven't done one since 2018 for various reasons, and they decided to get back into it, and with Portugal. And so they reached out to Maria and lots of other people because they've got events at multiple stores.
Yeah.
And they really did their homework.
Oh my goodness, they sure did. I kept saying, so is anyone at Central Market who's running this Portuguese? Because it was spot on everything. Prior to us going out there, I mean, I've been in communication with them since May. So we knew that this was going to be happening this month. And it was, tell us about, what's your favorite food. So what did you, like, if you would put a dinner together, what would it be? And it was going back and forth and doing different ideas of what we wanted to do. So the first event, I mean, it was a whirlwind. It
was. So we flew in from Boston and landed in Houston in time to get over to the market. I have no idea where we were. They picked us up, dropped us off. I don't know where we were. I
mean, it was that way. And then we got
beautiful
there.
Beautiful market. And...
the people that were there were just so wonderful, and I had some fans there, which was so great.
So the reason for us being there,
yes,
so on one night and the next night in Houston and Fort Worth, they're going to cook a dinner for guests with recipes from your book.
Correct.
So Maria was there to talk about the recipes and tell her
my story and all that. Yes. And then there were some people there, of course, just foodies, which was wonderful. That was our first night. And then we slept, woke up very early in the morning, and then flew to Fort Worth. And Fort Worth, another Central Market store. And this time it was a private event. It was over 50 people. And it was, the owner, the general managers, the all of their like VIP guests, and once again it was all about Portugal, all about our food, and they made all the dishes that my mom and my family would make. So it was wonderful to see them coming out. We had this discussion even while it was, like, before it was happening. Bob pulled me aside and he said, just remember, there's a team of people in the back making your mom's recipes and serving this very large group of people. And my mom would pretty much make enough food to feed all of that amount of people. And it would just be her making it in her kitchen.
Yeah, in her galley kitchen.
In her small galley kitchen. And I felt, oh my goodness, with everything that came out and the enjoyment that everyone had for each dish, and they'd get a new dish, and all of a sudden they'd be like silence because they're eating it, and all you could hear was, oh, blah. So that to me was like, oh, you can't get any better than that. You can't get any better than that.
So you were busy working because you had to talk.
Yes.
I was seated as a guest and got to enjoy the storytelling and all of the food. And the flavors were just spot on. And the ingredients were all very fresh. You could tell. Yeah. I mean, it was, again, fine dining.
It really was.
So I don't know if every Central Market store has a cooking school, but certainly
yes, they do.
These two did.
They do.
And, you know, professional chefs and bakers. And
oh, yeah. These are all just trained.
Trained and just great people. And, you know, it's fun to see the recipes that we'll make for a Sunday. Like, we'll make some carrot soup. And
yeah, let's put some
think about it. And it comes out the way it comes out. And these guys and gals, were just so serious to make sure that the taste came out right. Because it was new to them. Right? It was they were new flavors to them, and they weren't sure that they got it right. But they followed the recipes, which just shows how good the book is. If you haven't bought a copy, please do.
And that is what I heard from both places, from both sets in the cooking school, both sets of chefs that worked on both of the dinners. And one was a smaller dinner. The one in Houston was a smaller dinner. And I heard from them the same thing, like it was spot on. You know, there are lots of times they'll create dinners from cookbooks, recipes from cookbooks, and it does not come out. And it doesn't taste right, or there isn't whatever. But they were like, we did it once, and we were like, yeah, this is it, you know? So they didn't have to keep trying to get things right. And I heard the same exact thing in Fort Worth. You know, they were just, you know, but we were talking with, you know, all people who are culinary trained. They all went to either CIA or they, you know, went to French school to learn how to make bread the right way, or how, you know, we have the wine people who have like traveled most all over the world where there's wines made. There's cheese purveyors that go all over the world to get the best cheese. I mean, I turned to the owner of Central Market and I said, so when are you coming to Massachusetts? Because I mean, I know we have Portuguese markets and all Portuguese and all that other stuff, but this was the best of the best, and it was displayed beautifully. And everyone in that store was either like so excited to be talking about and learning. I mean, everyone had learned all about Portuguese food and Portuguese history and Portuguese everything. So everyone in those stores, they were like, yeah, this is celebrating Portugal.
Yeah, it was fun talking to the department managers, like Glenn in the wine department, and I just blanked on the young man's name who manages the meat department. But they were so knowledgeable so quickly.
They really were.
We're spoiled because we have, as Mira said, great markets like Portugalia around us.
Yes.
And so, I mean, if you're in Texas right now, in Central Marketplace, you could find pretty much everything that we get from Portugalia at Central Marketplace.
Exactly. Absolutely. And more.
And more.
And more.
And again, it wasn't just an end cap in one of the stores.
No.
I mean, every department had a main display. There was a huge Portuguese flag hanging from the
Texas
beams.
size.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to talk about that because, you know, every time someone says, oh, you know, Texas, they do it big. Everything, they do it big. And you go there and they know it's a big state. I get that. But let me tell you, they did it big. They did it Texas style. They really did. And I loved everyone that I met there in Texas. I just loved all of you. I loved all of you. Yeah. You know, at the last day we were there, we were being told we have to move to Texas. They want us to move to Texas. We felt very much at home. They just welcomed us with open arms. They were just such beautiful people.
We could have. I mean,
we really could have.
Everybody in the stores were great. The Uber drivers were great. The people in the hotels were great.
Everyone.
We're quite lucky. And, thinking of the stores and the sizes, I was really impressed by the size of the wine departments in both. And, when we did the event in Houston, Frank was there from the wine company.
Yes, Esperão.
That's right, Esperão. And we're big fans of their wine and their oil. And olive oil, too.
Yeah.
So it was really great to hang out with him, and he was appearing at other locations over the course of the weekend, I guess. But they didn't just bring in a couple of bottles of wine. They brought such a great selection. We're not getting paid for this.
I know, we're not.
Commercial. But it was just such a great experience.
We felt like when we were part of it, we felt how special it was. And we felt extra special to even be part of it, to even be asked to be part of it. And that is the honest truth. And so when we, after the fact, you go, oh my goodness, how amazing is this? So you're going to be listening to this very early. We just came back. We're filming this out. We're recording it. And then by the time this goes out and becomes live for everyone to hear it, you still have a chance to go to the Central Market stores, because this is going to go through the 26th.
Events will continue through the 23rd or the 26th. The food will stay on the shelves for a while because they want to get into this market. It's not a one and done thing.
Correct.
So depending on how well everything sells, they'll continue to
and that's exactly it.
Stock it.
If things sell, they'll continue to stock it. If things don't sell, they'll phase it out. So you need to go in. And if you're a foodie, if you're Portuguese and a foodie, you need to get your tail over there. And you need to support those Portuguese products and support Central Market for bringing it in. Because, I mean, we are in love with them. We are in love with them and their market and the people. And it's family owned. It's a family owned business. And the owner and his wife, I mean, my goodness, one of the owners and the wife, they were just the sweetest people and so excited. And a majority of all the people that were there, whether they were personal chefs or, all the VIPs were incredible people. They were just the most incredible people. But the majority of them were either coming from Portugal, from a trip from Portugal, or going on a trip from Portugal. And of course, I'm talking about, being Portuguese, my heritage, all of that stuff. Yes, my family came from Trás-os-Montes and, all of these things and how we, immigrated from there, how we got to Santa Maria, how we went to San Miguel and how I was born, blah, 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 blah. And then I would always put in Azorean twist to everything because I'm from the Azores. So going through the store and seeing Queijadas de Vila Franca, which is from San Miguel.
The real ones.
The real ones. They got it there. Seeing Shah Gouriana on display as fine teas. I'm like, oh, yes! Seeing the San Jorge cheese there, seeing our Azores butter, seeing cheese from San Miguel, seeing all of these things that were there that I'm like, oh my goodness, so I kept grabbing things. And so when when I was talking to them after, I'm like, they had queijadas de leite, which is yes, we know queijada pastéis de nata, everybody loves pastéis, but queijadas de leite is one of my favorites for all of you that know that out there. And they had it there. They had pão de Deus, they had the chocolate salami, they made it. They made all these things in-house. They had chouriço, they had linguiça. They actually made their own, as well as ordering in from Michael's. So when I walked in and looking through their meat departments, I'm like, oh, you have Michael's sausage here, which you would all know that's one of my favorites. So they were saying, we're used to seeing chouriço and being like a ground kind of thing, but how wonderful that it's in chunks. And I'm like, yes, because that's the way it
They even had bowls.
They even had boules left. You're right. They even had that. They had sweetbread. They had...
So you can see we felt quite at home.
I mean, it was beautiful. it was like, it was a passport to Portugal. Mm-hmm. It was a passport to Portugal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a bunch of managers flew up from Texas to Massachusetts to spend time here in the southeast coast.
Yeah, they actually, I know Portugalia helped them a lot. So I know the Benevites family over at Portugalia were one of the people that did help Central Market, because when I was talking to the owner, he had said that even to me. He said, you know, we also need to thank the Benevites family because they helped us get to the right people for purveyors, like the right wine people and the right cheese people and the right, you know, whatever it was. So, and they had lapis, the limpets, they had it there, flown in fresh. I mean, the frozen ones, they had it there. They had octopus. They had this huge tuna. And of course they had the bacalhau. They had, I'm just thinking of all the things that I saw going through it. And the pineapples from San Miguel, they were there. Every store has a display of pineapples from San Miguel.
The pineapples were so good.
Amazing. So that is our trip to Central Market.
Yeah, if you can get to Central Market, please do.
Please do.
I say, even if you're not shopping for Portuguese food, but talk to the department managers, talk to anybody there. They are so knowledgeable. They are such great people.
Really, really great.
So, to the folks, our new friends
at Central Market.
Thank you so much, and we hope to see everybody soon.
And back to Texas soon. Absolutely.
And back to Texas.
Bye, guys.
Bye now. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'd love to hear your ideas for topics. Ciao.